Oh my gosh, that is beautiful.
He's known in the golf world as the one-arm golfer.
Get on the edge, get on the edge, get on the edge.
With personality
Boogity!
and an envied swing.
Read it for me.
You should go straight.
Quick to dispense advice on the course,
Oh gosh, this looks good. Yay!
his celebrations reflect his pure love of the sport.
I smoked that.
You did smoke that.
Holy cow.
And there's certainly no lack of confidence.
Nice shot. Look at that.
So, there are like 60-year-olds who've been playing golf their whole life and they're not as good as you. How'd you get so good in 6 years?
I don't know.
Practice, 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 right?
He discovered his love of the game as a toddler, dragging his father's clubs into his crib and mimicking the pros on TV.
Woo!
More than one time I showed up at the golf course missing a club or two.
Do you remember that, Tommy, where you were like sleeping with golf clubs? Why were you sleeping with a golf club?
I love golf.
Tommy, have you ever had a golf lesson? No? He's never had a golf lesson?
He's never had a lesson. The only swing advice that he was given was by Gary Player. And Mr. Player had some very definitive advice, didn't he, buddy? What did he tell you?
Balance.
Balance.
Tommy was born without his right arm, but many of the pros he emulates are right-handed. So Tommy developed a right-handed swing using his left arm.
Marcia, when you were pregnant,
Yes.
and you have that moment where you think about having your first child, did you ever think this is how your life would turn out?
Well, I found out that he was going to be born with one arm when I was 14 weeks pregnant. So that was terrifying, to say the least. But I think because Joe and I decided that, well, come hell or high water, this is our life. We're going to give this little guy everything he needs to succeed in this life. And boy, that's why I say I think he was truly born to play golf, to inspire the world. He is who he is, and he was perfectly made.
Good to see you.
Often seen mingling with the pros at PGA Tour events, Tommy is using his celebrity to raise money for other families in need.
How are you? I'm Ryan.
His foundation, Unlimited, which he started with the help of his parents, has donated over 375 sets of clubs to children and military families. The Morrisseys also talk with people about living with physical differences and standing up to bullies.
How do you help people realize that they can do things that perhaps they didn't think they could do?
Because they watched me.
I mean, that's got to be, I know you're proud of your son for his own great abilities, but it's got to be something to watch him inspire other people.
It's very cool.
Whenever he goes to a golf tournament, you can see the people looking at him going, oh my goodness, how's this child going to swing with one arm? Then they see him come out and hit the ball and go, oh, wow.
Holy cow.
And then they see him at the winner's table, getting the blue ribbon, and they go, okay, wow, this changes everything.
Ooh, good one.
There's no child in the U.S. kids golf organization that's ever qualified for world championships, which is the highest honor for junior golf.
With a difference.
With a limb difference.
Are you trying to create a child golf prodigy?
We're trying to create a child that will be successful in academics and be a positive part of society.
Or anything he wants to do. It's about him being happy and fulfilled, doing his part to contribute to society. That's it.
Yeah.
We don't focus on golf. He plays 5 sports a week, and it's all about growing. Every sport we play, it's all about learning.
One-handed! One-handed catch!
Who's stock two? Oh my goodness.
Junior Maya James achieved her dream of a figure skating team at Howard University by turning to Google to find other skaters, and then skated right into the DMs of senior Cheyenne Walker to break the ice.
I stalked Cheyenne a little bit,
Just a little.
Just a little, I wouldn't call it stalking, though. I would call it using her resources,
Yeah.
doing research.
Yeah.
Both on skates since the age of 7, Walker grew up training with the group Figure Skating in Harlem. But with no figure skating program at any historically black university like Howard, Walker had to give up the sport she loved to go to the college she wanted.
I loved Howard, but I also wanted to continue to skate. So it was like, which one do I choose?
Together, they set out to change that. But with no ice rink on campus, the pair quickly found forming a team was, well, as hard as landing one of these synchronized jumps.
How do we get ice time? How do we get coaching? How do we do outreach to members on our campus?
With few figure skaters on campus, James and Walker got creative and recruited ice hockey players like sophomore Tony Smith.
Smiling, like majestic on the ice. I wasn't like that before, so. So why did they want you on the team? Honestly, because it's Howard's first year. There's not a lot of figure skaters don't come here. They don't know that it's an option.
Smith had been skating since she was 2, but admits this was all new.
There's got to be a difference between hockey skating and figure skating. Yeah, I'm actually having somewhat of a difficult time.
The team also had a difficult time finding a full-size rink to practice in after they discovered the only indoor public ice rink in the nation's capital currently looked like this, waiting to be rebuilt. So each week, the team pays to rent this rink near the University of Maryland.
Bend your knees.
And between practices at this community rink, the Howard students help others find their footing on skates.
To come and see them just get on the ice and be happy, fall, but laugh. Like, I love that.
Now, as Walker graduates, she's leaving James at the helm.
Having this opportunity to lead the club will definitely help her figure out that she has all the potential and that she's able to do everything. So I'm excited.
Why are you crying? You know, it's just so sweet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Because?
I don't know, it has been a lot of work.
Knowing the team is firmly planted.
Do you guys see yourselves as a team being a real contender in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, I do actually see us. I think we could definitely be a contender in the future.
For these high school teenagers, spending the afternoon with people old enough to be their grandparents is their idea of a good time. Every Thursday, a group from the United Nations International School visits this New York City skilled nursing facility
Okay, I got one.
for an afternoon of competition
Wait, that's not how you spell it.
and conversation.
Parents want to raise the home.
It's the brainchild of 17-year-old Max Hochman, who started playing chess with his family at the age of 4.
I started thinking about it during the COVID-19 pandemic, when I heard about how my grandfather was kind of feeling lonely. I decided to just pick up the phone one day and call him and ask him to play chess online with me. I saw how that really improved his mood. I thought how could I bring this to my community in NYC?
That online chess game with his grandfather in Florida has morphed into 60 students visiting 3 facilities every week.
I love all types of movement.
Much to the delight of residents like Lori James.
You know, I'm seeing a lot of talking and very little chess playing. Is that what usually happens with these things?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Because that's how you connect to one another.
It seems like there's a lot more going on here than just chess. Actually, there's dominoes also and Scrabble, but there's a lot of conversation.
Sometimes we don't play any board games at all, we just have a conversation. So it's really about the connection. We're so pleased to be learning from the residents at these homes.
Maria Alomar introduced Daria Murnia to the game of dominoes.
You said to me that the people in East Harlem, is that where you're from?
Yes.
They take dominoes very seriously.
Very seriously, yes.
What do you mean by that?
When they're playing, they're making sure that their domino is shown. They slam it down. It's the banter back and forth.
So there's a little attitude.
It's a lot of attitude.
I thought the challenge was to build the most intricate structure so you can knock them down. But I found out that it's a much more complex game than that. I won one game, but who's counting?
In between chess moves, Luis Sanchez and Hugo Ilmesen discovered they had both lived in Panama.
I was showing him some photos of me in Panama and we were talking about it. We speak English and then sometimes we'll speak Spanish.
Did it surprise you that students would want to come here and play chess with older people?
I think that, there's the desire on their end to have the connection as well. So it's not just, the residents wanting to connect with the youth, but the youth wanting to connect with them.
Just knowing that there's still genuine young people out there who's willing to, come and sit with us, take the time out, to, to connect with the, generations before them.
Gives you faith?
Yeah.
For CBS Mornings, I'm Dr. John LaPook.
He is 11 years old, as you heard him say. Journalist Jeremiah Fennell interviewing Travis Kelce ahead of the Super Bowl 58. Now, Jeremiah may only be in the 5th grade, but he has already managed to score interviews that all of us are trying to get with some very big names. Tracy Morgan, Michael Phelps, Brock Purdy, just to name a few. And we are very lucky to have Jeremiah join us here in the studio. Good morning, Jeremiah.
Hello. Good morning, everyone.
We've been talking about you all morning, but before we get to what you do, I want people to know a little bit about your background. Because your mom was telling me that you were born with a missing gland in your brain that caused some problems for you. The doctors had told your mother that you would not be able to hear, talk, or walk, and that her having you could possibly end her life too. They advised her not to have the baby because it was such a dire case. I know your mom has shared all this with you, so this isn't news to you. When you hear about how you started your life, what do you think about that?
Honestly, I just feel blessed and thankful and grateful that I'm still here. I'm like a walking blessing, and that me and my mom are still able to walk Earth, and both of us are still alive and living well.
Yes, you're living very well. And your first language was sign language, right?
Yeah.
Because they didn't think you'd be able to talk.
Yeah, the doctors told my mom that I wouldn't be able to hear, so my mom decided to start with family to teach me sign language.
Yes, and even when family members say, no, Lorraine, you should really think about this, your mom persevered, and we're so glad she did. So let's talk about you, because you love sports. Your mom says this happened when you were 3. At 3, what did you notice about sports that you said, I'd like to do that?
I just remember sitting on my bed watching a Raiders game, and I think seeing all the rowdy fans and seeing the players enjoy the game, I think that made me love it at such an early age, and I think ever since I couldn't stop loving this sport.
Because you can't play sports yourself, you were told.
I played contact sports. Well, I didn't play contact sports. I played sports, but I couldn't play contact sports. So I could play like tennis, but I couldn't play football.
Yeah.
So I did play flag football, which doesn't count. I played basketball.
It doesn't count. Yes, it counts.
I played basketball, and then I played t-ball. So I played those. But then after I played those, the doctor said, even though we said he can't play contact sports, he just shouldn't play sports.
Sports at all.
So yeah, after that, I decided to go into journalism instead, because those are the 2 things that I was like very interested to.
Yeah, and you've developed those talents.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
You're so poised and so cool and laid back. Is it overwhelming because of the amount of attention that you're getting now? And how do you prepare for your interviews?
It's not overwhelming because I think it's just amazing to see how far I've gone, because I started off as a 7-year-old, like in my mom's room, and we were commentating Raiders games on the NFL YouTube channel, which were copyrighted. They were copyrighted videos, and now I'm here on CBS Mornings, and so it's not overwhelming. It's really just beautiful for me that I'm able to be here.
Yes.
And to prepare for my interviews, I honestly just like to research the people that I know I'm about to interview, and then come up with some questions that I really want to know.
Yeah, so when you and your mom are watching in the bedroom, you're watching the game, and you're preparing, what do you do? And you said you started commentating. What was that like at 7? Do you remember, what would you say?
I just remember, I don't know, because my mom tells me when I was like 2 years old, I couldn't talk, but then when I'd watch a football game, I knew every word.
Wow.
So at 7 years old, I think I just knew the sport, and I was able to commentate it well, and I don't have any too vivid memories about it, but I do just remember me knowing the sport and me being able to commentate it.
So we showed the number of people that you've interviewed, all big names, big stars. Is there someone that you would like to interview that you have not yet had the opportunity to interview?
Oh, definitely. There's a bunch of people, but I think my top 3 is probably Tom Brady, but I want 2 in 1, because I want to commentate an NFL game with him.
Well, we have a surprise for you today.
So number 1 is Tom Brady. Jariq. he also gave you a look like, why are you playing?
Yes.
Why are you clowning me?
He didn't even fall for it.
He did not fall for it, Gayle.
I thought it was Patrick Mahomes,
sure
but you're saying it's Tom Brady. Go
Tom
ahead.
Brady,
Yep.
LeBron, and then Steph.
It'll happen.
And then Steph.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, do you have a favorite sport? Because you do them well, but you do them
It's
very well.
50-50 with football and basketball, and every once in a while I watch baseball.
What about baseball? Sorry.
Every once in a while I'll watch it, but I'm mostly into football and basketball because like those are the two primary sports for me.
Something tells me we have not seen the last of you.
No,
as
we
we get ready to say. But what is your dream job? We all assume that you want to be a sports broadcaster.
Yeah, I definitely want to keep this career because I enjoy it very much, and I think that this could be a long-lasting career.
We're cheering you on, Jeremiah. We know you'll be
Listen,
sitting.
and this is the thing, Vlad. He's only going to get better. That's what's so amazing about
the fact that he says, Gayle, like, I researched the person I'm going to interview, and then I come up with my questions. Let me tell you, there's some people who are adults who don't do that in this business. So good on you, man.
Are you dating yet?
No.
Okay.
You want to, though?
No.
You know, I do have a 10-year-old.
I know.
We get it. He's not interested.
Not yet.
Yeah, you got
Come
lots
back
of
and
time.
see us in 5 years, Jeremiah.
Those no's were very emphatic.
They were very emphatic.
They were like, you people are annoying me. Jeremiah, we are
It's the
cheering you.
side eye that I love. Jeremiah, you're amazing, brother. Thank you very much for being here. It was our honor to have you here. Now to our Uplift at 8, where we share stories that will bring some joy to your day. There are some skills you are just born with. For 6-year-old Qeshaun Todd, that's basketball. Check out how he schools his dad right on their living room court. Whoa. What? So Qeshaun says one of his signature moves is throwing the ball between his opponent's leg. He and his dad, Quincy, love showing off their skills on social media. They have been practicing since Qeshaun was 2 years old. Listen.
See him use the ceiling?
As a baby, I started just playing basketball on this little baby court, and then I start when I grow up, then I played on the big courts.
We just hope to just keep inspiring people to play the game basketball and ultimately to just have fun with the process.
The California duo call themselves Hoop Lord and Hoop Lord Jr. Qeshaun tells us he wants to be a basketball player when he grows up.
A little girl in Arkansas is on a mission to brighten the lives of other kids across the state.
2, 3, 4.
All right. 8-year-old Amelia Lissaway is collecting night lights for other children, for children who are in foster care. She hopes that it'll help kids feel more at home. So far, Amelia has given out more than 500 night lights. She spent the past year setting up lemonade stands, planning school fundraisers, and hosting cook-offs to raise the money.
Sometimes if you get moved homes, then you don't get to bring everything. So I thought that maybe if you brought a nightlight when they're sleeping, it would probably help them.
This one. So sweet. Her mom, Lauren, says Amelia learned that you are never too young to make a difference.
What a great idea, because that really is something you can always take with you, pop it in, it feels like home.
Here's my room.
Aha! Enter Madeline's world, and you come under the mystical spell of a mythical creature.
What is it that makes unicorns so special?
That they're magical horn. It grants you magic wishes if you ask.
Yeah.
Double rainbows in the sky, magic purple butterflies.
At 7 years old, she is obsessed with unicorns.
They live in the magical forest of Scotland.
That fictional beast, so beloved and popular, is the real national animal of Scotland. In Celtic mythology, it is a symbol of purity, innocence, and power.
And have you been to Scotland?
No.
So what's the plan to get your unicorn?
Well, I'm going to take an airplane.
Okay.
And then I'm going to find the unicorn in the magical forest and bring it back on the airplane.
Madeline has been smitten with the unicorn since she was 3 years old and can tell you anything you want to know.
And what else is involved in taking care of it?
Making sure it sees rainbows, sunlight, and moonbeams. So I'm going to make the barn have a glass roof.
Back in November, Madeline told her mom, Leilani, that she wanted a real unicorn. So Mom suggested that Madeline learn the rules about owning a large animal by writing to the Los Angeles County Department of Animal Care and Control.
I would like permission if I could have a unicorn in my backyard if I could find one.
Now, Mom, there are things over the course of our life that we explore and come to understand. What's your intention sort of behind going through the process with Madeline?
Well, Madeline's a very curious little girl. Anything that she proposes, we want to encourage and support. So when she came up to me with this idea, I thought, okay, we can do this, but let's do it through the proper measures of seeing what's required to maintain such a large animal.
Enter Marcia Mayetta, the Director of Animal Care and Control for LA County. She got Madeline's letter, and she wrote her back.
The first requirement is that she comply with all county regulations about keeping animals, that she had to feed the unicorn watermelon at least once a week, because that's their favorite treat. She had to polish the unicorn's horn at least once a month with a soft cloth.
And any sparkles or glitter used on the unicorn must be non-toxic and biodegradable. Of course. Well, after agreeing to follow those rules, Madeline visited the Animal Care Center on her 7th birthday to get her unicorn license, the first ever issued by LA County.
It is bigger than me. I think the takeaway for parents is to support your children's dreams. You know, don't stifle them. I think it's really important that adults do that.
When LA County shared Madeline's story on social media, it went viral, touching hearts around the world.
I would just like to thank you for reducing me to a blubbering,
weeping mess when I read about your beautiful piece of kindness to Madeline. I'm a 6-foot, 240-pound piece of British meat who has seen his fair share of savagery and nastiness in the world. Animals and humans alike should be grateful as you make the world a better place.
We're just kind of riding on that wave of joy.
While our fascination with the unicorn goes back to ancient times, they are as popular as ever today.
And what's the takeaway for everybody who felt something from this story?
That there's really still a lot of that innocence and just pure joy still out there, and it's a lot of fun to follow.
Oh, I have an idea. I'm going to go get a book to read to you.
After all, a child's imagination is boundless.
I think I've learned if you want something, then you have to ask for it. And to ask for it, you have to do something to ask for it.
I love it.
How are you feeling?
Good, pretty good.
As he prepared for brain surgery, 17-year-old Callum de Quevedo hoped for a chance at a normal life. A life that would overcome the grip Tourette's syndrome has had on him.
There's no brain like Callum's, so he's going to be a unique challenge, and designing his trajectories will be different from any other patient.
His surgeon, Dr. Ted Panov at Mount Sinai West, which is a hospital in New York City, told him that inserting wires into his brain, connected to a neurostimulator under his collarbone, were his last best hope of reducing or even eliminating the involuntary movements and ticking sounds Tourette's has caused him to make.
We scrub in the morning.
This surgical procedure has successfully helped people with Parkinson's disease, but it has yet to be approved by the FDA to treat Tourette's syndrome. Callum's condition became uncontrollable 3 years ago at a high school track meet. He was 14 years old then.
You picked him up at the track field, and what was happening then?
He just got in the car and he was down, and I said, you know, what's wrong? He was really excited about the track meet, and he said, I don't know, can't breathe.
Dawn de Quevedo is Callum's mom.
Maybe you're coming down with something, you know, maybe you're getting a cold. So the next day, send him off to school, and the nurse calls and says, listen, he really is struggling to breathe. So every day that week, the nurse called and said, something's not right.
But nobody knew it was Tourette.
Nobody knew it was a tic. I mean, we went to an ENT, and they said, well, there's something called vocal cord dysfunction. And they sent us to a speech therapist. He said, you know, this is beyond my expertise, and he sent us to Children's Hospital of Philadelphia.
How many doctors did you see?
We estimate a little over 30.
30 doctors?
Yeah.
Over 7 months?
Yep.
Before anybody diagnosed him with Tourette syndrome?
The worst episodes led to frequent visits to the emergency room.
There are videos. You experience tics of screaming, cursing, hitting yourself in the head.
A lot of head jerking, face scrunching, grunting.
I know there were these nights where 1, 2, 3 in the morning he would just be up screaming.
That's why we were videotaping it for the doctors. And just took a long time for anybody to come to a conclusion.
Did it feel hopeless to you?
Yeah, even after I got diagnosed, I struggled with mental health, and I actually tried to kill myself at one point.
It's really hard when you have a kid this age who's really looking forward to doing things in life, and you're sitting as a parent saying, I don't know if you can.
How Callum got to be one of the few people with Tourette's eligible for the surgery was every bit a tribute to his parents' persistence to get help and to get the insurance company on board. And it was a tribute to Dr. Juhi Jimenez Shahed, a neurologist and leading expert on Tourette's at New York's Mount Sinai West.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Take care.
Now, it's not unusual for Tourette's to go undiagnosed, but after visiting 30 different doctors, Mount Sinai offered a promising treatment.
Callum is one of the few folks to whom extra treatment is needed. A lot of people out there are able to cover up for their tics and are able to deal with it, but unfortunately him, as bright as he is, it's really stopping his life.
To make sure they settle?
The procedure Dr. Panoff performed back in December involved drilling 2 small holes into Callum's skull to insert the tiny wires into his brain. Guiding the surgeons was an MRI scanner, providing real-time images of the brain to help find where the brain could be most receptive for successful treatment.
Callum will be the first one at our center on our scanner.
This is the first time journalists were allowed to observe and record the procedure.
The brain is smarter than anything that we can ever imagine. And the brain is able to get this help from this device and start learning together with the device. So months after months, Callum can show improvement.
Callum's condition did not show an immediate improvement, and it wasn't expected to. Over the holidays, his skull had to heal first. Then the staples needed to be removed.
All right, so we'll start with this guy here. Now, each one of these is going to be like a tiny little sting.
With that done,
All right, ready? Yep. Okay, here we go. So I'm just
Dr. Juhi Jimenez Shahed slowly started the neurostimulator that would send a current to Callum's head. The hope was he would become calmer and gain some control.
So kind of bit by bit, we're going to kind of ramp this up, okay? And you tell me if that intensifies or if you start noticing anything else.
Yeah, I feel a lot more relaxed.
It's pretty immediate, huh?
Yeah.
For the next hour and a half, the doctor adjusted the levels, and there was already reason for optimism.
And how about now?
I just feel like this is the best I've felt in a long time.
Now watch what happens when she turns off the stimulators.
I'm going to go down to 0, okay? So you tell me what changes when we do that. What's happening there?
My urges came back for my simple tics. My toes are going crazy right now.
So you're definitely feeling like you have to do it now.
With the stimulator attached to the left side turned off, his tics came back. Then, when she increased the level of stimulation to the right side, he got more relaxed.
So that's the sweet spot.
Then, he was ready to control the device himself.
So you're going to open up the app. Then it says your therapy is on. Right? So that's how easy it is to do anything with it.
Okay.
Okay?
The procedure and Callum's initial response were a success.
Let's get to the good part.
Yes.
It is now working in your head. It's turned on.
Yes, it is turned on.
How do you feel?
I just feel very relaxed. I don't think I ever realized since I was 13, since that breathing started, how even my muscles were always just very contracted, and I was always very stiff. I think the biggest thing today was when I had my hands out like this, and the one side was trembling and the other side wasn't.
Now neither one.
Yeah, now neither one is trembling as bad as they were.
I have to tell you, in the brief time I've known you, I've noticed how stiff it makes you. You seem at ease.
I definitely am. I feel more relaxed now. It's nice that I don't have to be moving constantly to keep myself distracted or to stop the tics. I can sit at my house and watch TV without worrying about screaming or hitting my head or punching myself or anything like that.
Well, good morning. So, this is an historic campus. President Lincoln signed Gallaudet's original charter back in 1864 when the Civil War was raging on. And recently, this private university has been integrating students with diverse life experiences. And the football team really symbolizes that. This is a story about the power of communication.
Whatever happens, you don't stop believing today.
Football is equal parts passion, dedication, and teamwork. But this game day feels different and quieter than most. The cheerleaders perform the national anthem with no music and no singing. Just hand gestures signaling that our flag was still there.
1, 2, 3, go!
And with that, the Gallaudet University Bison, America's deaf team, as they call themselves, take on the Anna Maria Amcats.
Doesn't matter, you're deaf, hard of hearing, the other team, they're showing up to play a game. Like, you see how the game has changed? Remember the highs and the lows we discussed?
Coach Chuck Goldstein has to lead the team without doing what coaches do, yelling or blowing a whistle.
Play fast, let's go. Sometimes we'll see the whistle will go early, but our player doesn't hear it and he runs like 90 yards and he turns around and,
Play's been called
Play's been dead. Go back. The first thing you do, you sprint to the goal line as fast as possible.
The Bison communicate using ASL, or American Sign Language. You can't hear the snap count.
We just watch the football. The quarterback, he taps the center, and we just go when the football snaps.
So you watch the ball.
Watch the ball.
Wide receiver L.J. Watson speaks and signs, a technique called SimCom.
Skip it straight.
At first, he and his hard-of-hearing teammates, Daquan Taylor and Rashard Witherspoon, had a tough time seeing eye to eye.
I'm not gonna lie, team chemistry was hard.
The chemistry?
It's hard to communicate with each other because some players on the team don't know sign.
Half of the players are deaf, others are hard of hearing. And to have enough players to compete, each year Coach Goldstein integrates into the team a few mainstream hearing athletes.
Our recruiting pool is limited. It's limited. So it's kind of a struggle. We have people who are looking online every day for deaf, hard of hearing athlete. Go ahead and Google, try. Lock in now.
That's how they find players like Taylor, a defensive standout from Hampton, Virginia, where sports are a religion. But Taylor thought he had blown his chance to play college ball.
Didn't work out, no scholarships after senior year. Dumb mistakes, partying, distracted girls, grades.
Then he got an opportunity to join the Bison.
So how I fell in love on my visit, it was deaf people, they knew I couldn't sign, but they still accepted me.
It was an unfamiliar feeling for Taylor, whose mother died when he was in the 7th grade. He spent his teenage years bouncing around different friends' homes. Now a junior, sign language comes as easily to Taylor as football. Gallaudet was a shot at redemption. And now you're going to graduate, you're going to have a degree.
Really, it helped me become a man. Where I'm from is a bad area. Jail, dead, we sell drugs, honestly. So when Gallaudet gave me a chance to play football, I was I'm not risking it again. I'm not.
These roommates are a testament to the power of communicating without saying a word. Why are you guys, coming from your different backgrounds, able to come together and communicate and succeed?
Because we have patience with each other.
Patience.
And, we're willing to slow things down.
Just became close, became brothers. We was brothers on the football team, but now us three is just different. We can understand each other without not saying nothing.
Today, about 12% of Gallaudet students can hear, and going forward, the school is going to have to continue blending these different communities and redefining itself without sacrificing its identity. How? Maybe the football team can help pave the way.
All right, who needs an uplift? I do. It's time for the Uplift at 8, where we share stories that will bring some joy to your day. And this morning, we are sharing the incredible story of a dress that was about 80 years in the making. A young lady named Julia recently found sketches of the dress that her grandmother drew at fashion school way back in the 1940s. So It looks pretty good. Her grandmother never did anything with these drawings on your screen right now. So Julia decided to surprise her and actually make one of the drawings into a dress. Take a look.
Oh my goodness. goodness. That is stunning. That is absolutely stunning.
Thank you. That, of course, is Julia modeling the dress she made, and she says seeing her grandmother's reaction was worth all the work.
My grandma, she's always been my idol growing up. So getting to bond with her and connect with her through this experience has been amazing. She has brought a smile to my face my entire life growing up. So it's a very beautiful feeling to be able to reciprocate that.
And Julia said she plans to continue practicing her sewing and make more dresses from her grandmother's sketches, which sounds like a wise idea. They're really pretty.
Really beautiful, and I love that it's something they can share together, and you can modernize some of the looks, but old school is always old school. Why not?
Absolutely.
She's a highly accomplished actor, she's a model, she's an advocate, and now she's a writer. You can call her an author. Her new children's book is called, I love this title, I Am a Masterpiece. In it, Mia shares her experiences living with Down syndrome, and she explains why she feels it is her superpower. Yes, it is. Mia Armstrong joins us, and guess what? She brought her mom, Kara. Good to see you both. Hi, Mia. Hi, Kara.
Hi, Gayle.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you, too. Nate and Tony, we were all talking about you this morning. We were all excited that you were coming today.
Oh, thank you.
Of course. Okay, but this is what I like the book because I love how you start. You say, I know people aren't used to seeing someone like me. I tell them, don't whisper, don't look away. What do you want them to do?
I want them to look at me and to be kind to others with or without disabilities. It's not just an ability, it's a different ability.
And sometimes they can start by just saying hello.
Yeah.
Right? But your mom always tells you sometimes you have to be patient with people because what do people do? They forget their what?
Manners.
And so they forget their manners. We could all use manners. And what do you do in those situations?
What I do is mostly, I don't hide.
Yes.
I do say hello to other people, and I say, can you help me try this pair on? Is it in the book?
Yes, yeah, when you were going to buy new shoes.
Mia, what do you think
Yeah.
of these drawings? There's such beautiful pictures of you in the book. What was it like when you saw them for the first time?
It was actually pretty crazy to see it, me in the book. It's really cool, like my best friend Monroe's in it, and I just love it, and it's crazy that I'm in it, and so is my mom and my family.
Yeah, mom's in it as well.
Yes.
Kara, this book is there's a lot of explanation here. There's a Q&A in the back. The author's note is really beautiful. There's something for the parents reading the book as well. What are you hoping they take away from it?
Yeah, I think that we need to arm neurotypical parents with the tools to teach their children how to teach kids that have differences or disabilities. And I think that's one area that we're lacking in is the tools for parents to sit and explain in an age-appropriate way what it means to have Down syndrome. And that removes the barriers for Mia to have to answer those questions.
Yes.
If kids come armed with information,
Yeah.
then friendship is the next.
And what is your message to parents who are starting this journey?
Well, it's a privilege. It's a privilege to
It really is a privilege.
It is a privilege to raise a child with Down syndrome. Mia has taught our family so much about patience and persistence. And
Are you sure about that?
I am sure about that, yeah.
Okay.
And you inspire me every day because you never give up. And
Yeah.
you live in the moment. We're all trying to
Always.
live
Thanks,
in the
Mia.
moment. Mia doesn't think about yesterday. She doesn't think about what's happening tomorrow. She's fully present in the moment.
You mean dinner or lunch?
She thinks about exactly what's happening. Mia, the thing that really struck all of us about your book is that you said your Down syndrome is a superpower. And you say it's a superpower because mean words bounce off of you like a what?
Super shield.
Like a super shield. But my favorite line in the book is, I
I don't care what doo-doo head say.
Yes. How did you know I was going to say that was my favorite word about doo-doo heads? Because I saw some doo-doo heads the other day.
Yeah.
They can be extremely annoying. But you
They
said,
really can be.
But you say you don't pay attention to doo-doo heads because why?
Because I don't engage in the argument or anything like that. Like my parents sort of do sometimes. It's not all the time.
No.
Not all the time.
Yeah.
Because you say they have no power over you. That's what I thought was very strong.
Yeah.
You said they have no power over you. And the other thing in the book, you said it would be so boring if we were all alike.
That's right.
Don't
I
we
love
all
that.
agree with that?
Yeah, I had that underlined.
You have that, Mark, too?
It would be boring if we were all the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So what are some of the things you like to do? You were telling us in the book the stuff you like to do.
I love surfing, drawing, sleepovers, and roller coasters. I'm sort of a daredevil.
Ah, I like that.
How do you have time for it all? You're a model, you're an advocate, you're an actor, you're an author.
Well, it feels good to do all those things, but it's a little bit stressful to do it all together, so we do it in separate pieces.
Yeah, one step
of
at a
the
time.
day. Yeah.
Why did you all decide to do this together? Because, you know, I was reading in the makeup room, and they were all saying, boy, I like that, I like that, I like that. We could all take away and learn something from this book. You touched on it a little bit with Nate a second ago.
Yeah, I mean, early on in our journey, we'd be in Target and we'd realize that a kid was staring at me, and I would take offense to it, but I realized...
Staring?
Yeah, like, I realized that it's kind of part of the human condition to identify something that's different. And so instead of staring, we just want people to say hello, and we want to open up that dialogue and allow kids to ask questions. You know, kids are naturally inquisitive, and I think empowering them to ask good questions is really one of the first steps to true inclusion and acceptance.
And empowering parents to be able to answer those questions. That's what's
Yes.
important.
That's right.
Yeah, I agree
Valuable.
too.
Yeah.
We have something special for you.
Just for you.
Because this is a special accomplishment. So we wanted to give you a cake, a special cake, and on it is the cover of the
I'm
book.
hungry.
Well, you can dig in.
You had to say congratulations, because Mia, now you're an author.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you like the design of the cake?
Yeah.
I did it myself.
He's very handy. He's got the white chef's hat and he's got the pastry.
You're a good
thing.
baker.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Just for you.
Mia, the cake is for you to take home, but could you at least
you.
cut one piece for me before you go?
Dig right in.
I really like cake in the morning.
You don't have to ask. You don't have to ask me twice. Mia and Kara Armstrong, thank you.
Thank you
Mia,
so much.
bravo,
For having
bravo.
Of course.
He's an entrepreneur who runs a successful recycling business, now with almost a dozen employees. But what's more remarkable, he's just 14 years old, and he's been on the job for more than a decade. Carter Evans has his story.
This van here, this is yours.
Yes.
Right? You
it
can't
is.
even drive. Ryan Hickman may only be 14 years old, but he already runs a recycling business covering a large stretch of Southern California.
This is probably about 5 days.
5 days? He started collecting and sorting bottles and cans from neighbors and friends when he was just 3 years old.
It's fun. It's good for the planet. Why not? And free money, too.
All those nickels he was earning were adding up. By the time he was 7, Ryan had reached his first $10,000. And when this Facebook post went viral, overnight, Ryan's recycling became a rampant success.
This is from everywhere I've heard from.
Now, with the help of his donated electric van, Ryan collects cash not only for his college fund, but to help others. He has a worldwide following and a bedroom wall full of awards for his charity work.
The Anaheim Ducks, the Sea Waste and Recycling.
Ryan now leads beach cleanups almost every week.
Oh, piece of styrofoam right here.
Man, I can't believe you spotted that.
I have good eyes.
You make money off the bottles and cans, but you don't make any money off this.
No.
This is just all volunteer. Thank you.
Welcome.
Out of the goodness of your heart, huh?
Mm-hmm. Trash.
All driven by a teenage boy's passion and compassion.
This is trash. You want to get it?
Yeah, I want to get it. This is like pity trash for me.
It's okay.
Ryan's dad, Damien, is all in. This has taken over your family's life. This has become your business.
Yeah, you know, and Ryan, I saw the passion that Ryan had in it at such a young age, and I'm like, wow, this is actually going someplace.
So 2 years ago, he quit his job as a graphic designer and followed Ryan's passion for recycling.
I think we have 8,000 customers since we started, and the numbers are growing every day.
Their 14 employees drive around Southern California picking up people's bottles and cans.
The white bin is for plastic only.
They recycle them and share the profits with their customers, while father and son share a bond.
It's been fun getting to hang out with him, and he enjoyed it too.
United on a mission to help the planet and pay for college, one nickel at a time. For CBS Saturday Morning, Carter Evans, San Juan Capistrano, California.
Since the war in Ukraine broke out just over a year ago, more than 8 million people have fled the country for safety. For one third grader, Margot Bestuva, and her mother, the journey would take them from Ukraine to Poland, then Ireland, and eventually America, where they'd reunite with her father. But it was family she found through the sport of hockey, a beloved pastime in the state where they settled, that helped not just Margot, but the whole family start to feel like they'd found their new home. It's a scene played out in rinks all across Minnesota. Kids of all ages gliding and grinding it out in the official state sport, hockey. And how long have you guys all been playing hockey?
I've been playing hockey for 3 years. I've been playing for 2 or 3 years. I've been playing for 1 year. I've been playing for 4 years.
Freya, Elsa, Megan, and Ellie have basically been born into the sport, playing for a combined 10 years, longer than any have been alive.
Millers go down to the obstacle course with Coach Vlad.
All are members of the Minneapolis Storm 8 and Under Youth Hockey League. And this year they welcomed in a new teammate.
Go, go!
Margot Bestuva.
Give me your hands.
What do you love about this?
Skating. Just skating and scoring goals. It's all fun. It's just all fun. I can't explain.
Margot not just new to the team and sport, but also the country.
I want to try something new. In Ukraine, I can't play at hockey because just boys hockey.
And here, everybody gets to play.
Yeah.
When the war broke out in Ukraine last year, she and her mom, Anastasia, like so many others, fled, crossing into Poland at this border.
We go and we not understand what we do in future, where we live. I have just one bag.
You left with one bag?
Yes, and with dog, because we have dog and some document. We not bring with us nothing, and it's so sad because I love my life.
Margot's father, Igor, had been working in the United States for several years, but told us Anastasia couldn't get a visa, so she and Margot couldn't join him. Even when the war broke out, it took about 7 months and a multi-country journey before they were reunited.
I came here because, I need to get some work for family.
Okay.
So I'm working here and send money to my family.
Back.
All this time, we hope that we will unite it.
That had to
Finally, it happens, so bad things in my country, so it just create a way to unite my family.
While Margot was forced to leave Ukraine without basic needs and comforts like clothing and toys, one thing she always had with her was her love of music. Finding a way to play and practice piano wherever she could. Though here in Minneapolis, it has a bit of competition.
Use that puck.
She wouldn't have played in Ukraine.
No.
But here she plays.
Yeah. And she loves it.
Maybe she loves more hockey than play piano.
Yeah. Is that true?
Uh-huh.
You love hockey more than piano.
Uh-huh.
I think so. But getting Margot started in hockey took a little bit of help after she showed her mom this hockey league flyer recruiting new players.
And apparently they'd only been here for a couple weeks at that point, like in Minneapolis. So she was new to her elementary school. She was new to Minnesota, Minneapolis, the USA. And she was like, I want to try hockey. All the way around, all the way around. 2 hands on your stick.
Coach Drew Wood says that's when the hockey community rallied, springing into action after hearing from Margot's mom.
And so immediately I responded to her and like 4 other people from the association. Was like, we need to do this. How do we cut all the red tape and make this like something that happens? Because there's a lot of barriers to entry.
Yeah.
The hockey mean like birth certificate, like that's hard for us to all come up with. How can we make this affordable and how can we make this actually accessible and doable?
That help also included brand new hockey gear from head to toe.
And it was like, you know what? Like she doesn't need to use our secondhand stuff. Let's make this special. Let's go to the hockey store with her and let's just like get her good stuff, brand new, and like just start sort of fresh.
I know Margot's one little girl.
Yeah.
But this is bigger than that in some ways.
Absolutely. I mean, we're all watching the world unravel in lots of strange ways from our couches, and we can only do so much. And so when a part of that world that's in turmoil knocks on your door and says, like, can I come in? Yeah, we're gonna do that. I wish more people could enjoy it with us. And so when you get one person in the door, that also increases the appetite to get more people in the door. And as you've seen out here today, like, she's no guest here anymore.
She was saying, like, these are her friends now.
Right.
This has helped her fit in.
Right.
And as it turns out, Margot's not the only one who's found a community through hockey.
You're a hockey mom now.
Yes, it's family. Community was family. Some people helped me transportation, pick up me and Margosha with big bag in hockey and back at home because I not have a car. I love this community, hockey community in Minnesota.
Do you think here is a place where you can start to build a life again? This is a place to be home again.
It's like the words, I want to play hockey. Let's go, everything possible. So everything possible here.
All right, so my talk to the table is a young girl's reaction to seeing a photo of herself, which she has been waiting for a long time. Take a look.
Almost there. We're almost there.
That's my diapers?
Is that your diapers?
No,
I don't know.
Look.
I don't know. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Look, this one.
Oh my gosh. Who's that?
Me.
Is that you?
Me.
Huh?
That's me.
That's you?
Yeah.
That is little Jazara rocking the Afro puff. She's finally seeing her picture of herself on a box of Pampers. Her mother says Jazara posed for that picture 2 years ago, and it was her first booking as a child model. The mom says they've been looking ever since to see Jazara's picture on the store shelves. It finally happened last month when they went to Walmart in Ontario, Canada, and that's what happened.
Oh, don't you love her little voice? That's me.
Yeah, that's me. Look at me.
So important to
So
see
shout out to
yourself made,
Jazura.
as you know, it's
You're
so
right.
important what
You're
that means
right.
to that little girl.
It takes years of practice and often failure for a surfer to master the sport. Finding the connection between body and board while standing on a surge of water is challenging enough to acquire, and it's even harder to teach others how to do it. But one young surfer in California is sharing what he's learned in a short time to help other children ride the waves. Carter Evans has that story.
For 12-year-old AJ Iredell, surfing isn't just a passion, it's a way of life.
It's a little inconsistent, but
Not bad for a school day.
yeah.
The Phenom took me to one of his favorite breaks in Oceanside, California. What's the
We're paddling out by the rocks right there because there's a rip current right there. It's a conveyor belt. It'll take you right out to the break.
Okay, we're gonna use the rip current to get out.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys. Iredell started surfing when he was just 3 years old and never stopped.
After I caught my first wave all by myself, like a feeling of accomplishment and like myself saying I can do this.
Now, 9 years later, he's competing and a regional champion. Totally at ease surfing in a crowd of people decades older than he is.
So what do you think is your favorite thing about surfing?
The people like that I surf with. Like, it's one thing to be good at surfing, but it's another thing to share it with people.
And he does that regularly, volunteering with Ways of Impact, which provides free surf camps for people with disabilities and other challenges, many of them children.
I love seeing the smile glow on their faces after they've done it. Like, at first, like, the ocean may be a place of fear, but those kids are fearless. Just talking to these kids and seeing what they've gone through, it's crazy, and to know, like, what we take for granted.
What's that like as a mom to see him want to help other people?
I'm so grateful. I'm truly so grateful.
AJ's mom and dad are his biggest cheerleaders. As one of 5 children in the family, their son learned to be a team player early in life.
I think that he was able to recognize the opportunities that he was given and the people that helped him when he was little. And I think that he's just as excited to be that guy for some of these other little guys.
You get good grades?
Yeah, I try to.
When he's not surfing, AJ somehow finds time for jiu-jitsu, snowboarding, and of course his family.
I'm trying to get my little brother into it. He's about to turn 2.
Does he like it?
Yeah, he loves it.
He's 2. He's old enough now to surf, right?
Yeah, he's old enough.
Are you like training a little surf partner?
Yeah, pretty much.
A kid at heart
That's super fun.
with a giant heart.
Oh,
For CBS Saturday Morning, Carter Evans, Oceanside, California.
It's gorgeous, but it's a little intimidating knowing that we're going to be at the top of that.
16-year-old Hudson Reynolds had quite the summer adventure, climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest mountain in Africa. It took 6 days and at times near freezing temperatures to reach the summit.
Is it just 6 days where you're basically just going straight up the whole time?
I mean, pretty much, yeah. The majority of it is just straight up.
Did you have moments where you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah, definitely. But whenever I thought about that, I just thought about my sister, what she's had to go through.
It was for his older sister Tia that he climbed those 19,341 feet.
We made it to the roof of Africa.
The effort raised $200,000 to battle the little-known disease he's watched her fight every day. It's called PKU and affects about 16,000 Americans. It makes food protein toxic to the brain.
I'm really inspired by him, and I love that we are working on this together.
Battling the disease is a family affair. Her mother skied across Norway to raise money. Her grandfather biked across America. They've raised millions, helping lead to a breakthrough, a daily shot to manage PKU.
You really have an overachieving family.
I know, yeah, I totally do. I'm very inspired by them.
What she's had to go through her whole life just doesn't compare to climbing Kilimanjaro, no matter how hard it was.
The next mountain they hope to climb is the one leading to a cure.
For CBS Saturday Morning, I'm Chris Van Cleve in Washington.
Yale University has honored a scientist who is just 9 years old. Bobby Wilson is fascinated by bugs, but last year her mission to catch spotted lanternflies made national headlines. Bradley Blackburn has the details on how a frightening encounter led to a celebration.
It has red and brown wings with black spots, and 9-year-old Bobby Wilson can tell you exactly what it is.
A spotted lanternfly.
Last fall, she learned about this invasive species in school and wanted to help. She found a bug spray recipe on TikTok.
Good job. I mixed water, dish soap, and apple cider vinegar.
She was using it outside her New Jersey home when a neighbor called the police.
A little black woman walking and spraying stuff on the sidewalks and trees. I don't know what the hell she's doing. It scares me, though.
Bobby's mom says it was racial profiling.
Those exact words in another town, another state, I could be grieving.
Yale University assistant professor Ijoma Opara heard Bobby's story and decided to take this young entomologist under her wing.
Oh yeah, Bobby belongs here. Bobby is Yale.
She invited Bobby to campus to meet scientists who look like her. And Friday, Bobby was back to see the first spotted lanternfly specimens added to the Yale Peabody Museum of Natural History collection. Those insects were gathered by Bobby herself.
How does it make you feel to know that these bugs are going to be in this museum?
Happy and proud.
A young girl who's flying high and now has the bug for a career in science. For CBS Saturday Morning, Bradley Blackburn, New Haven, Connecticut.
Hello, everyone. I'm Pickle. I'm Pick Squeak. I'm Pick Squeak.
For Ollie and Harry Ferguson, life is an adventure. For the past 4 years, the brothers have been working to complete a list of 500 challenges and experiences.
The idea came about actually from the boys. The boys, we just asked them one day if they could come up with some cool things for us to go and do as a family. And they came up with some hilarious ideas initially, like go on a mission to Mars and intergalactic sausage day and all sorts of strange kids' requests. And from there, Vicky and I built the list up to 100 and then kept finding new things that we wanted to go and try. And it just kept, until it got to 500.
They're all cataloged on the brothers' Facebook page. So far, they have built an igloo, explored the wilderness, sent their Lego men into the depths of the ocean and into outer space.
Well, we got a sort of box thing, attached a GoPro onto it, stuck our Lego men on with our flags, and then inflated a helium balloon, and it just went.
But perhaps their biggest adventure is playing out right now on the high seas. Last year, Ollie and Harry launched a toy pirate ship from the Scottish coast. The boat, aptly named Adventure, sailed across the North Sea to Scandinavia. It then hitched a ride on a Norwegian boat and was launched again, this time off the coast of West Africa. Adventure traveled all the way across the Atlantic Ocean and is currently in the Caribbean Sea, about 150 miles from Venezuela. The Adventure is equipped with a tracking device, allowing the brothers to follow every step of the voyage. But the battery on the tracking device is starting to dwindle, so Harry and Ollie hope a passing ship spots their boat and is able to recharge its battery, allowing the adventure to continue.
I want it to go to Australia because that would be halfway around the world and there's lots of beaches there for it to land on.
Where would you like the boat to go?
China.
China?
China.